What's up, Juventini? It's your New Year's Eve edition of the news, and we have a lot to discuss. With the winter mercato opening up in 2 days, we start to look at Giuntoli and ask, is he getting reckless, especially when it comes to the Danilo situation as he has left the club? We will look at that. We've got 2 new names at the backline as potential targets for Juve, and then the situations around Tomori and Silva are changing rapidly. We'll go through all of that. Fagioli set to receive offers next week, and the squad list going into the Supercoppa finals this week, and we're going to look at it all together right now. I'm Berto. This is the AJC channel dedicated to Juventus. It's December 31st. Let's rock with the news. We start things off with new targets at the back line. Yesterday, we got the news that Calabria of Milan will be a free agent this summer, and Juve is keeping eyes on him and might look to strike. This came from a weak source. You saw my YouTube Shorts video. It was just a funny gag video, but I was serious when I said no, for several reasons. And some combated me saying, look, it's a cheap deal. He's a decent player. First of all, when it comes to his play, it's actually gone backwards for him, and he has regressed. Also, the big one here, his injury history. This guy can't cough without hurting himself, okay? So for me, it's a no simply there. Juve has struggled with injuries. I don't know why you would even consider somebody with such a bad history record as his when it comes to injuries. It's a no. For me, we should have a little bit more ambition in who we look to bring in. Savona is at the fullback position. He needs a top option around him to continue to grow. So any rotational minutes like that should be going to him with a top option ahead of him to help him grow. Cambiaso can offer that, or you look to bring somebody in with more ambition than Calabria, in my personal opinion. On the left side, Cabal's there, he needs to be challenged, and maybe you find a top option there. Well, when it comes to Calabria, the news is that strong, credible sources actually say Juve has no interest in him, okay? But today, Miguel Gutierrez comes up as a potential target for Juventus, the 23-year-old left back from Girona, and this would be a symbol of something with a little bit more bite to it and a little bit more ambition. Bringing him in to challenge Cabal and having the two of them duel at the left side with Cambiaso, who could cover left or right, that's a better situation for Juve. When it comes to Gutierrez, he was listed as one of the top 15 players in La Liga last season and listed as one of the best fullbacks in the league. This would be significant. Right now, we just hear that Juve is interested in monitoring, but they don't know if they're going to deepen discussions for the player at this point. So we wait and see. But those are the 2 new names that have popped up. When it comes to the usual suspects at the back line, Antonio Silva. For Antonio Silva, it's being reported Benfica will only budge on a permanent deal, and they're looking somewhere around 40 to 45 million euros for the defender. In terms of Tomori, all eyes are now on what's going to happen now that Conceição has moved in as head coach of Milan. Will he look to keep Tomori with him? All we can do is hurry up and wait, everybody. Again, the window opens in 2 days. Let's see what happens. And in a few days, on January 3rd, when we meet Milan in the Supercoppa semifinals, there apparently are going to be meetings and discussions held around Tomori. Let's see where Conceição stands. In terms of Danilo, well, Danilo was rumored to be used in the move for Tomori, but Milan wasn't keen on Danilo. Is Giuntoli getting reckless though? Because Danilo is removed from the club, and he's posted on Instagram, and it's kind of official that he is out, and now we just look for this resolution. Napoli apparently has the agreement with the player, but they don't want to spend a dime for him, and they're just waiting for us to say goodbye and give him a severance, and then he can move over there for absolutely nothing. Juve, though, apparently does not want to do that, and they are trying to find situations, trying to find moves. The issue is the other clubs that might represent a little bit of financial gain for Juventus in this maneuver. They are getting rejected by Danilo. He has an agreement with Napoli, so here you are. But Giuntoli doing this at this juncture of the season so aggressively and pushing this guy out. Really one of the few leaders left. Now you've got Locatelli and who else? Maybe Perin, Pinsolio, who's a third goalkeeper. That ain't good enough as far as the leadership goes, okay? But hey, I don't really understand this one. In the summer, I understand the aggressive approach, trying to make serious turns, trying to speed up the process. Right now, at this juncture, even if we go out and get 2 defenders, I still said, I do not let this guy walk, especially for nothing, and head to a direct competitor in Italy. This is a little bit reckless from Giuntoli, in my personal opinion. Is ego coming out? Is it because Danilo is tied to the last regime? I'm not so sure, but this should have been dealt with at the end of the season in the summer, in my opinion. You guys know the drill. Weigh in. Is this reckless from Giuntoli? Now we get to Fagioli, Crystal Palace, West Ham, and Fulham. Apparently all 3 of them are set to put down offers for the Italian midfielder. We could be saying goodbye to Fagioli next week. Let's wait and see. For Locatelli, he will serve his suspension for yellow cards accumulated in the Derby della Mola against Torino. So he is available for the Supercoppa, and this is your squad list for the Supercoppa finals. And as you can see, Weah and Rui make the list. That is it, and it kicks off with us facing Milan on Friday, everybody. How do you feel going into the Supercoppa? What are your expectations there? But that is your news break. You all know the drill, okay? But first, I just want to wish you all the absolute best in the new year, and thank you for all of your continued support. All right, I love doing this, and I always said whether it was for 1 person or 100 or 1,000, hey, the numbers are the numbers, but for me, I love doing this. I'm not going anywhere. We ride or die through thick and thin. The AJC Army, we all love you. From the entire cast and panel at the AJC, everyone involved behind the scenes, we love you and we thank you for all your support. Happy New Year's. Nothing but the best. Enjoy yourselves and do so responsibly and safely. All right. You know the drill now. Like the video, subscribe to the AJC Army, become a member. Let's go. Let's get you in that private chat. But my favorite part, let's mix it up in the comments, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow on New Year's Day for your next edition. As always, fino alla fine, Forza Juventus, the best damn club in the world. Let's go, everybody.